There we go. All right, starts in...
like an Eeyore.
I know.
Probably ought to record this.
Guess we'll play.
Oh, bird. Wait, that's Snuffleupagus. Anyway, all right, here we go. It begins. 3, 2, 1. Oh, jeez. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to There Will Be Dungeons. Bo, is that you? Did you burp to start us off?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did.
all right. Get to
I
be
felt it coming and I decided, let me see how quickly I can do this before he starts the music. It's like a challenge to myself.
My gosh.
I didn't want it to be on the actual show, though. Hopefully it's not on
No,
the show.
yeah, don't worry about it. It's not, it's gonna,
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry one bit. You'll never hear about it again. Anyway, hey, everybody, welcome back. It's There Will Be Dungeons, and we're here to play D&D, and we're very excited about it. Our DM burped to start us off, and so now we go ever forward, never backward, into a brand new adventure, not really, a continuing adventure known as There Will Be Dungeons, which we'll get to in a second. Before that, though, we like to do a couple of things at the top of the show. One is to read an email, and I'm going to read this one here. This came to us from listener Brady Swenson, who says this: Hey, TWBD crew, I just wanted to say that I can't believe I've stuck around with you guys since you left Dust Hill to begin your journey. Met many characters that come to mind, such as Softhead, Hillmaster, Bok, Orp, Pod, Omnom, Diptak, and the list goes on. I tune in each week knowing that each episode is going to be an excellent one. It's crazy how much Nash, Hope, Stanley, and Varel have changed in good ways. Great character development, and everyone is a badass in their own way, including the amazing DM, of course. Thanks for taking me on this adventure with you guys, and I'm excited to continue it on. Keep up the great work. From Brady. Well, Brady, that was very nice. Thank you for that email. Now, since his was just a big, broad compliment and so nice to hear, I thought I'd throw one in that has an actual question. And this one came to us from Chad, who says, I love your show. It thrills me every week to see it drop in my podcast app, but I have 2 questions. Number 1, where do pod people get access to the early Q&A episodes? And my answer to that is, I hadn't thought of it. So, time to think of it. I don't know what I'm going to make some kind of resource for you so you can get all the old ones, because in my head I'm thinking, oh, you just join and off they come as they come out, but I forgot about archives. I didn't really think of archives. Actually, the archives are in the regular feed, so you can get those. They're no longer exclusive. I think I just figured it out in my head just now. Go to the regular podcast feed, the one you're already getting our show on, and you'll notice that a week later, those show up anyway. So any of you who haven't gotten up to this point, they're already on the feed. Anything you get in the future as a pod person comes a week early to you. There you go. Solved. Number 2. Bo, here, this is for you. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought maybe you'd burp in agreement that you were ready. No?
No. I'm done with the lack of professionalism.
Whatever. Made for a better show. Here we go. Bo says, or he says this to Bo. Bo, what are the rules in D&D regarding recipes and regents? I think Nash should study his bat guano to make something that would make him have a free cast of Fireball. I think one of the future Nashes said that this was possible. I really think that the bat crap should become something important because, remember, you can't spell dungeons without dung. Thanks so much. Keep up the great work. Chad, a pod person from Kentucky. Well, thanks for your support, Chad. So, Bo, can any of that happen with bat poo or otherwise?
Yes. So in 5th edition D&D rules, there's a portion of spells that require material component. Some of them have a gold cost associated with it. For example, you might need $1,000 diamond or 1,000 gold piece diamond before you can, I don't remember which spell it is, cast a spell. Spells without a gold cost can be circumvented by having an arcane source or a holy relic, depending on your class, so that you don't have to use it. So Fireball, I believe, actually requires as a material bat guano to cast.
Oh, I think you're right.
This is a useful reagent for Nash.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately for him, I think he has that glowing ball, and he's got his. I think we retconned. You have your staff now. I'm not sure what the status of the staff is.
Re-retconned it, yeah.
But he has 2 arcane sources that we're aware of. It means he doesn't need to use it, and that's sort of up to you as a player whether you want to make it's more fun to play with reagents or just to have an arcane source in your hand. Most of the time, arcane sources do not do damage, so they're taking up a wielding spot for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you're, I gave them a pile of items. I think he's got his cigarettes still, and you still have that duffel bag, the go bag full of random crap.
Oh yeah, I still absolutely have the cigarettes, because every time something comes up that I think, ooh, what could I use cigarettes for? That hasn't quite happened yet, but they're there, and I look at them every week, lovingly and longingly.
I mean, to be fair, cigarettes aren't really used for anything except to enable addiction.
Except
So,
for
I mean,
story points. I want a good story point to whip those out.
but you
know?
might meet a guy who's really jonesing for a cigarette, so you never know.
Yeah, you never do.
But yes, good comment nonetheless. But there is use for the bat guano.
Yes.
But Nash likes to use it to throw on people. So,
Look, you get what you get. You have what you have. Nash is no different. Big thanks, Chad, for your email. Thank you, Brady, as well. If you'd like to send us a message, go to the website. Therewillbedungeons.com. Click the contact link, and you're in. All right, a quick note about this week's tea from PhoenixPearlTea.com is a bit of a throwback to, or not throwback, it's a shout out to everyone's favorite vehicle, the Fate 4. Bo is drinking it. Fate 4 is now dust.
Yep. I do a live pouring on the show, so this is, here it goes. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah, I'm watching it steep into
It doesn't
the
really make sound, but it goes into the
unit
cup.
there.
Oh, it's real pitch black here. It looks like tar,
Well, it's like
like
Fate
you would
4.
find in a vehicle.
Like oil. Yeah.
Mhm.
I actually haven't drank the Fate 4 yet, but I've heard from some listeners. I put sugar in this already, so.
All right, give it a shot. What do you like? Tell us what you like there. Is it good?
Oh, it's good.
Is it?
It's earthy and spicy. It's got a sweet flavor, but I put sugar in it, so that might be that.
It's a good theory.
That's a pretty good theory. All right.
I also have the taste of pepperoni in my mouth, so it's affecting it a little bit.
We have talked about this pepperoni, Bo.
We
I
have
only had two.
only
I had to miss
two.
a show. We had to delay a show because of pepperoni. I gave myself heartburn.
That one time they're this long, right? Like a big thing this long.
No, I had these little ones. I only had two
Okay.
little snack size. They're really small. I'm being moderate with my pepperoni eating now.
Because in the States, you're only allowed to eat a Slim Jim like once a year, or else you're gonna die. So just be careful with those, will you? Don't worry, pepperoni.
No.
All right. PhoenixPearlTea.com.
Fate 4 is delicious.
Yes, go get yours there. PhoenixPearlTea.com/TWBD. You can get your own teas, that version of that tea, and many others that are available there. They're also linked on the website at therewillbedungeons.com. All right. That's going to do it. Oh, toward the end of the show, I'll remind people how they can be a pod person. You heard this mentioned from both Brady and Chad. I'll tell you all about it, so stick around till the end of the show. Now, as is tradition, I pass it over to Kristen, who will now break down what happened last time on There Will Be Dungeons.
Last time on There Will Be Dungeons, Varel fast-footed from the Fate 4, hoping to herd the hunter, but the reaction was remiss. The mighty monster mangled the machine before marching after its mark. Varel tricked the terror into tripping into the teeming trench Nash had tilled, dealing it a dreadful deluge of damage. Nash flung a fireball, and together they terminated the T-Rex. Varel, as an apology for the fate of the Fate 4, raised a rickshaw from the remains of the routed rival, but curtailed his courtesy when he counted creeping lizardmen crowding in, camouflaged by the continued cascade. A flash. A figure. A foreboding. Descending from the dreary drifted a tentacled terror, talking telepathically. He first fished for Hope, surrender her city and secure the seized Syrah. No deal was dealt. All attempted to admonish the adversary with ammunition. Sadly, though, Follow and his friend felt the frigid fingers of failure. The invader then invited them to instigate inimically at Kervalan before crashing them into a copse of corrupted crops, each exposing eyeballs. As Varel fought to fatigue and Nash dueled as a dragon, Hope and Stanley interred the inanimate until Nash nagged enough that he was molded into a muttering mouse who chirped for cheese. Following a reviving rest, they trekked until they were taken in by a tiny town squatted by skeletons. They consented to a scan that supposedly helped them home, and were rewarded with a runic ride that warped the woods, whisking them swiftly to the confines of Kervalan. Now rejoin our heroes as they deal with a demonically deluded disputant. What secrets about Delapopio will they discover in the city? Can they find and free the little elf girl? And what other animals can Stanley turn his team into? Stay tuned for today's adventure in the wide world of The Wastes.
Nice work as always.
Frigid fingers of failure.
Mm.
Can I steal that for a podcast?
Go for
of
it.
Course.
You can. Maybe we'll title this one that. That's pretty good. Frigid Fingers of Failure. I'm going to write it down. All right, Bo.
We begin this week. It's pitch black. And you hear a guitar. The lights come up. And Hope, you are in Dust Hill.
Oh, okay.
You're walking among the huts. In front of you, with his back to you, is a long-haired, short little gnome. He turns and looks up at you and says, "Come this way." And then turns around and begins walking towards the side of the canyon of Dust Hill. Oh my God, what did I do? The side of Dust Hill.
I'll follow.
Okay, you follow along, cutting through the huts of Dust Hill. And there are people there. You see a woman with a cloth on, washing her clothes on a washboard. A little bit of water coming out. And as you are about to turn the corner and head in the direction of the canyon wall, a large lizard folk, Bronze, the giant slab of meat over his shoulder, bounds the corner. Make a dexterity save, please.
Oh. 16.
Okay. You just almost bump into him and then sort of jump out of the way and look back at him. Varel, a tiefling, has jumped out around the corner of you. You're in Dust Hill selling meats. Would Varel do anything, noticing this?
No. Common for people to be in my way.
So the lizard folk continues walking, not having noticed you. You sort of spin around, turn back, and see Softhead is down the sand corridor between huts, almost disappeared from view.
Cool. I'll jog a little to try and catch up.
All right, you jog a bit and try and catch up. And eventually you get to the face of a giant rock wall that's inside. Remember, Dust Hill's built inside of this enclosed mountainous area. And the garage is built into the side of the mountain. And you see two large garage doors built into it. And inside you hear rear, rear of air compressed equipment. Rear, rear. And then Softhead turns around and looks up at you and says, "If you would like to make yourself useful, perhaps you can ask Jimster here if he has something that you can do for him." You said you liked vehicles, right?
Yes.
Well, go on in.
Before I do, I'll look down at my left hand. Is it robot hand still, or is it?
It's a flesh hand. It's your normal hand.
Cool.
Hope will kind of look at it for a little bit and nod at Softhead and go into the garage.
All right, and as you go into the garage, you see a guy in blue overalls inside of what appears to be some kind of a Camaro. His head's stuck in the hood, and you see the back of the arm is like, reet, reet, reet. And he's sort of putting bolts in, you think, with an air compressed drill. Doesn't notice.
Excuse me?
Holy shit! Boom! And he hits his head on the top of the head and then drops the drill inside. Oh my! That's a very pretty color of skin you got there. That's wild.
Thanks. I just came into town and I work on cars, and Softhead said this was the place to go.
Holy shit! You work on cars?
Yeah.
You don't look like you work on cars.
Well, you don't look like you work on cars either, but here we are.
Oh, that's too true. And he spits. And he goes to the workbench, takes a rag, starts cleaning his hands, but it's still covered in oil. Like it's like white skin, but then as it reaches his wrists, it's like not tattooed, but just tainted black from oil, from years, sweat, bronzed, suntan skin. Puts a right hand out and says, "I'm Jimster. Nice to meet you."
Cool. Hope will hold out her hand and shake it. I'm Hope.
So you like fixing cars, huh?
Yep.
What kind of experience you got?
Motorcycles, cars like this, about 5 years.
Shit, where'd you get a motorcycle?
Long story.
Did you bring it with you? Do you have one?
Not with me, no.
Oh, I'd love to ride on a hog again. Damn. Maybe one of these days we'll find one. So what do you like to do? What can you do? What can you fix?
Everything. Just point me in a direction and I'll work.
And he sort of peers at you. He's like, all right, I got something to show you. Come back here. He makes his way towards the back of the garage, and you see a large cloth covering a box-shaped thing. He walks up to this thing, and he goes, check this out. And he lifts up the canvas, and he throws it back, and you see the Fate 4 with regular tires on it, looking like a state of disrepair. He says, I found that out a few months back, and I've been working on this thing so we can get transportation to nearby settlements and finally get some, I don't know, something interesting in this town. You think that's something you could fix up?
Yeah, I think it's something I could do.
And he points over to some tires over in the corner. He's like, check out those bad boys. See, what I'd like to do is maybe get that onto that. And that way, you know, we won't get stuck in any sand pits. Make good time out there.
That's a great idea.
Why don't you get in? Give it see how it feels.
Hope will kind of... She's reliving this memory. She knows how it's supposed to go, and so she'll get in. And she'll put her
You
hand
open
on the wheel.
door. You see the Fate 4. It smells musty, hasn't been cleaned. It's got thick grease all over everything. It's probably been sitting in the desert for years, if not longer. You make your way to the front. You see the seat there. None of your modifications are in the vehicle. Just a regular old RV. Go on in, sit down.
Right, Hope will kind of lovingly touch everything she walks by.
All right.
And go sit in the driver's seat.
And as you sit down, you feel a faint wind brush around your hair. He's like, if you don't mind, I'm going to play some tunes.
Hope will nod quietly as she kind of remembers
He
things.
gets on in and he gets to the radio and he pulls out of his pocket like a tape cassette. Puts the tape cassette. He's like, watch this magical thing. It's called a cassette player. He presses play on it and you hear, not that song.
Oh.
Long may you run, long may you run. Although these changes have come, with your chrome heart shining in the sun, long may you run. And then it sort of fades into this dreamlike state. And then you're jolted awake and you're in the ghost carriage, running at 100 miles per hour, eyeball trees splitting open in front of it. And what jolts you awake is the carriage. And Stanley, Nash, and Varel, you're all there. You didn't see any of this. The horse begins to get a kick. As he makes that sound. And then it's starting to buckle and buck. Who was driving the horse again? I thought it was Varel.
That was
Stanley?
No, me. Yeah.
Okay, the horse is beginning to kick and go wild.
All right, I'll start slowing things down a bit.
You try to slow things down and the horse does not respond to your command. In fact, it begins moving up. Just straight up in a line, and you start going straight up into the sky, and you leave the tree line, and then a giant gaping mouth opens up in front of you. And the horse finally slows to a still. You're floating in the emptiness of outer space, starfield from all directions. The horse and the carriage floats in the middle of space.
Is there air?
You are breathing.
What fresh hell is this?
I don't know what I'm doing up here, clearly.
And as you consider what's going on and look around, in front of you, slowly dissolving, shining in little sparkles of blue and of copper, a dragon appears. But it's not a dragon. It looks ephemeral, ghost-like. You can see through it, translucent. It's as if energy took form, and it was in the form of a dragon. And as it moves around, there's like these trails that it leaves. That sort of hurt. There's this distortion to the way it looks. It expands out, lifts its chest up, rears its head, looks down. Mortals, it says. And then it pauses.
Yes?
You have come in your world's hour of need.
We have?
You are who I've been waiting for. Kaz Desiree, I sense you here. Yet I do not see you, though I can feel you.
Who?
Kaz Desiree.
I don't know if anyone has that name here, says Nash.
You. The dragon takes a big sniff of the card as it lowers its head and looks. You are Kaz Desiree.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yes, you.
I'm gonna do one of those, like, and then look behind me and, like, make sure he's pointing at me. No one's ever called me that before. What is this?
You bear her scent.
A girl?
Bear her energy. Yes, a girl.
Explain yourself.
You explain.
I smell like a lot of things.
You speak as Desiree.
I'll look at my fellow adventurers in just disbelief. I don't know what he's talking about. Or it.
Does your dragon form have a name?
No, it's just Nash, Magard of the Solar Mines in dragon form. I don't have another name. I don't know what this is.
You might look at the item name for a hint.
Oh.
What about the hat that you got?
Wait, let me go look at it. I haven't actually looked at it since I got it.
A year ago?
Oh, is that how you say that?
Kaz Desiree.
Yeah, it's... I'll look down and go. I have a little thing written on my arm like a tattoo. Oh, yeah, right. It's Kaz Dex Hyre, hey. But I've never said it right before. I didn't know that's what the word was. How do you know this name?
Tell me, abomination. How do you bear her mark? I do not see it upon you.
It's in here, and I puff out my chest and go, right here.
And the dragon's eyes slit. So it is. You carry her essence. And
Who-
she does not reject you, abomination.
Who is it? Who are we talking about? Who's her?
Kaz Desiree. She is a great dragon. Was a great dragon. In her time. But time is short. You are those of your world who've arrived here. With the last of my summoned energy, I speak with you. Ubveyex seeks to destroy your planet by bringing his own to this world. I see no others of your kind here.
It's just the four of us.
And what purpose brings you here?
And the horses, if you count them. Feel free to speak up, you guys. Stanley, help me out.
We're here to save a little girl. That's why we're here.
Yes. Yes, there is a small mutant child below. I sensed her.
But now you say that our purpose here is to prevent the summoning of another world?
For reasons unknown to me, Dolopopio has taken an interest in your planet. He has sent his worms and his underlings everywhere to seep into every crook and crevice of this planet. And he has found an ancient device beneath Kervalon. I came to stop him and was taken by surprise. I hurtled to the surface of your planet and perished. I was brought here, and with the last of my energy, I maintained this form to deliver what information I could to those of your planet who would save it if such heroes existed. You are those heroes.
I mean, I suppose. I'm not overly attached to this planet, but I'd like very much to stay on it.
You suppose. Where is your sense of purpose? Are you not here to save your planet?
Yes.
You. Who are you?
I rule over Tiet Kala. I'm here to drive back Dolopopio and his forces.
Yes. And the wings flap. The device beneath Kervalon was built by the humans in a time before the Scorching, when we came en masse to seal the planet. They built this machine to transport this planet to another place in the cosmos. Yes, the whole of the planet. Our attack at that time was relentless and furious, and we wished to leave no survivors. In an act of desperation, they created a machine whereby they could transport the planet away and buy time to build new defenses. Dolopopio has found this machine. By virtue of the general he has sent here, Uveyex, his great wizened worm. You head there now, and I must implore you. You must stop him if you wish to save not only your world, but the very fabric of the cosmos. The demons cannot be allowed purchase into this world. Even now, Uveyex brings his realm to this one. You've seen the trees. You've seen the rain in your wasteland. These are not of your world. These are of Uveyex's realm. He brings his world to your world to corrupt it eternally. You will be my avatars, my avengers. You will end him.
Does he have any weaknesses or anything? We tried, but nothing worked on him.
They are lords of madness. The only weakness it has is a strict adherence to rationality. Be logical. Be wise. Sturdy your mind against the visions you see. Pauses for a moment to allow you to let the information sink in.
Hope will
And
be
this
wondering to
machine-
herself that, were we really the best ones for this? She won't
If
say it out
they
loud,
s-
though.
Start this machine, how do we stop it? Should it be destroyed? Can anything
Destroy it.
be done?
The machine is powering as we speak. The light you see emanating from Kervalon brings with it doom. I do not know how this machine functions. It is a creation of man and demon. Destroy it however you see fit. But you must do so quickly. Even now, Ubveyex uses my corpse to birth Dolopopion to your world. When he is done, he will use the mutant girl to inhabit her and manifest himself on your plane. I will answer what I can to arm you for your journey. And when I am done, these will be my last words in this realm. For I live no more.
Where is your body?
It fell to the earth someplace and was brought here to Kervalon. It rests below in Ubveyex's lair. Ooh. Ooh.
Great dragon, you honor us with this information. I fear I must ask a greater boon of you. My companions here are defended by demons, and those that were not were instantly destroyed at the hands of the general. Would you, can you, offer me your blessing so I might fight Uvlex truly?
She looks upon you and says, Whelpling, you are strong for one of your kind, and you bear the mark of one stronger than I. The God-Killer Grosjean rests within you. I have no blessings to give, as my form is dead. The last of my energy is here. I wish you luck in your wars to come. But these words will be my last. If you have any questions on what I may know, I will answer them. And then I move on to another realm.
As your servant to you, desire a retribution of a certain style upon your captors.
Smite them all with the greatest of strength. Ensure that no piece of them lives. If you cut it in two, slice it in four. If you slice it in four, slice it in 8. Make as many pieces as you can and then burn them with dragon fire.
Do you know of a back way, a secret entrance into Cavalon?
There is no secret entrance into the ruin. The only way through, I believe, is through the front entrance. Your fight will be hard. The Mind Flayer's thralls are many. And he is not the only one. His cabal is with him.
The little girl, is she uncorrupted? Is she safe? Is she still alive?
I do not know. I simply know their intent. They are going to use her for her gene soup.
Does that have anything to do with the time barf?
Time barf.
Oh shit, if you don't know, never mind.
You speak of traversal through the time dimension.
I think.
That is not something your kind is able to do.
Well, I know 2 guys who can do it.
then it is a destiny I have no knowledge of. A gust of air sort of blows out and steam from her nose.
If we banish Dolopopio, will all of the worms die and free those infected?
The demon lords are immortal. They cannot be slain. That is why they cannot be allowed purchase into this world. You must bar the door, and do so quickly, or else this planet is doomed. It will not be the place you know. It will be filled with demons, and from here, they will launch their invasion to the rest of the cosmos. Does anyone else have any other questions? Everyone's very quiet.
I have none.
No.
I don't know where to go from here.
Hope's just sitting there quietly contemplating.
Rest now, Great One. We will fulfill this deed.
Fulfill this quest, or suffer doom eternally.
If we fail,
Now,
it's
you
all
have
of
the
us who
ear
fail,
of a
right?
dragon.
Oh,
What's
sorry.
that?
I was going to say if we
No, go ahead.
fail, I'll say this to him. If we fail, are we doomed eternally, or if we fail, all life is doomed eternally?
All life is doomed eternally.
All right. Well, somehow that's
Yours
better.
doubly so, because you will rest
Shit.
with the knowledge that you could have done something, but did not.
All right. I just like to know the stakes.
Save your world. And with that, the dragon dissipates. And then the horse dips back down. Down is relative, but it feels like it's going down. You're
Right.
in outer space.
Right.
And then the gateway opens up, and you're now plummeting straight down into the forest, and it just goes top speed. And then just as you're about to hit the ground, the horse does a quick L, everyone's stomach turns, and you get that sharp feeling like when you go down a steep hill. And then you're back through the trees, and the horse continues moving to Caravelon at breakneck magical speed, swinging through the trees, bending the trees, and the eyeballs all kind of look around, and they like, or they kind of go like this, as you race on by. And then as you approach what appears to be castle ruins atop a small hill, the horse slows down to a halt and drops you outside of Caravelon. The horse and the carriage disappear, and you float gently into the ground in the forest of eyeballs with the rain, torrential rain coming down.
Well, that was weird.
Friends, I have not known such joy in all my life. To be gifted a quest of such importance by a dragon god. I am filled with joy.
Well, I'm happy for you, Varel, but this is certainly a pressure situation. I wasn't anticipating everything riding on this. Can we do it?
How do you question your greatness at this time? You are blessed. We are all blessed to defeat this foe. There is no other, and it falls to us. You are aware we get to siege a castle and defeat a astral being this day.
It just feels like
Yeah.
we're a little outnumbered. Like we're
I
not.
would have it no other way.
I see you like that sort of stuff, but just by the math, this may not end well. I mean, you see death as perhaps death in battle as glory, but some of us see it as inconvenient to life. So I'm concerned that we don't have what we need to do what needs to be done. And
I don't want to be critical, but I'm gonna put a little note here saying like D&D, you will constantly outnumbered and outgunned. And like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's not gonna be a scenario where it's only one dude versus the four of you all the time.
yeah, but it's not going to be. But then again, it's never. Nash is never going to go. Like always in these situations, there are.
Yeah, but can't you be like, oh, I've got fireballs, I'll just mess them up, no problem.
I don't know. Nash is
I'm
kind
just,
of.
I'm just saying, I'm just, letting you guys know you're level 8. You got lots of spells now and stuff. You guys might feel, you guys might not be that scared. I feel like we're having the level 1
Stanley,
conversation.
in my mind, is weighing our victories to our defeats, and it's kind of lopsided.
in the
Not
way of
in favor
defeats.
of us coming.
You've defeated every monster you've come across. No one's died in a year and a half that we played. I'm just saying, if you guys want to feel cocky, you can. I'm gonna give you a license if you feel like you shouldn't have a license.
Now that's dangerous. The DM should not encourage copying.
I mean, for role play. I don't mean like I listen into the room. There's 20 people. All right, I go in alone and just say, me, like, be smart about combat. I will try and kill you, but you can, you don't have to be scared necessarily. I'm just saying, Varel is very into it, and you can take that on. I
All
feel
right.
like probably it's time to go home.
Well, it's good because
I'm like, I feel bad. I'm like, I made a very dangerous adventure. Everyone's like, it was dangerous. Let's go home.
so I'm gonna say because he wasn't done. Nash would have followed this up by saying, "But I would follow Varel into the fiery depths of hell itself. So if you think we can do this, fine."
No.
Oh,
There's no time for hell. My glorious death will be another day. The entire world depends on our victory here, and I will have no other.
I gave my word, and I intend to keep it. We see this through. We come out the other side, and we don't lose someone else to these demons.
Hope?
You guys look over, and Hope's hair it's drenched. She's soaked to the bone because of this rain, and she's not looking very happy. And she's just gonna look at you guys and say, "We should probably find a way in."
There is no gray left. In this town, in this keep, we will find no innocence. All can be destroyed. And that does not bring you joy? Your guns don't hunger for the blood of enemies, Hope?
Oh, I never said I wasn't excited. I just want to get inside.
Fair enough. You're all damp.
I like Hope's motivation. She's like, I'll kill anything. I'm just wet and sick of it. I just need to be dry. Thank you.
I love it.
Then let us proceed in and find comfort in shelter before the killing begins.
So lightning strikes the air, lighting things up. And you see the outline of the ruins of Kervalon in front of you. You think you make out, when you look up and sort of look around, see it, one or two figures atop the ramparts of the ruins. Then it darkens back down, and you're again in the forest of eyeballs. One of the tree eyes lowers down, looks near you, Vorel.
Wait, isn't there a pillar of light that would be illuminating, or is it like
There is a
self-contained?
pillar of light, but the light actually causes things around it to be darker because it doesn't illuminate, it rather sort of blinds a little bit. It's a very intense beam that enters from the sky down into the keep, which you can't see where it hits because it's behind walls.
Very well.
What I will do as you sort of look around the general area, there's nothing to distinguishing about the forest itself, but as you look towards the keep area, you can make out certain features of the wall. And in Roll20, I've delivered unto you a new map. You are not on the position located. I've just put your pieces there for convenience. But as you look out onto the keep walls, you notice there's several figures in the form of what looks to you guys as lizard folk, although you can't make out their details, atop the ramparts of the keep.
Do we see this opening here that is apparent on the map?
Yes, you see that there is a front entranceway.
Cool.
About how high up are the walls?
Roughly 30 feet.
All right, I'll point out the entrance to my companions. We do stop the summoning of a dark deity. You all know my plan. Time is of the essence.
Bo, quick clarification. Is it all chunked out like this in black, or am I seeing it wrong?
Yeah, it's fog of war.
Okay.
You should be seeing like the surrounding area only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure, because I'm trying to show people at
Yep,
home.
there's a black chunk there. That's intentional.
There we go. Okay. All good.
Well, what method of entry do you propose? Do we go charging in? Do we try to sneak our way in?
Perhaps the better question is, how do we intend to kill the general, and perhaps the god himself?
Well, we know that magic seems to have a hard time finding purchase against it. So we're going to probably have to rely on physical means. It's all for naught if we can't get inside the building, though.
It seems to me that stealth would be the more prudent approach. I'm all for guns blazing and the typical sort of Varel approach, but perhaps that's a mistake here.
Very well. And we'll go as far as we can with the stealth approach.
So what you do notice from in terms of a stealth approach is that it's an open clearing. There's about 30 feet of clearing between the tree line and the keep, and that
And those are guards there posted. Those
along the top of the ramparts, you can see that they're the outlines standing completely stock still of lizard folk. You see their silhouettes atop. They also appear to be carrying combat rifles, although you can't make them out. But the way that their bodies, one arm is shoulder up, other arm has an under thing on it, might be strapped over their shoulder, whatever they're carrying. But the guards, standing motionless, appear to have a silhouette of lizard folk and are carrying some kind of rifle weapon atop the ramparts. From what you can tell us,
I didn't hear that.
I can't answer that for you.
What did Hope say? I missed it.
Are they even alive?
Oh, you can't answer that, Bo?
They are thralls.
What you see is the outline of lizard folk. What appears to be holding pulse rifles.
This is a kingdom of the lizard folk. It could just be statues, yeah?
Yeah, it could be.
How do we check?
Or the worms have no need for motion, no need to grow bored. They are attached to their master, are they not?
But when did we ever see an infected person just standing there?
We don't know much about the infected.
We could throw a rock and see if they move.
I feel like that's a real good way to give up any possibility of surprise that we might have. If we're going to go in and attract attention, I say we do it big.
Is there a way we could attract attention somewhere else away from the entrance? Draw them over?
Do you doubt me? I
Never.
would like nothing more than to address this keep directly. If you all wish to sneak in the background, I am all for it.
Oops, sorry. Hit my mic.
I think we go in on the back of a dragon.
But yes. I like to see him put out, but I'm not. I would totally do that.
Mechanically, do we have exhaustion levels still for the dragon?
No, we have my last roll already happened. Let me just double check. Yeah, I'm clear.
Did we long rest? You got turned into a mouse.
Yeah, I did long rest after that though. I rolled and got.
Did we?
Shouldn't I be done?
I don't think we long rested since last you turned into a dragon.
We didn't.
Yeah, exhaustion level.
Yeah,
1.
we did. Because I
yeah.
blocked him from going back into the tiny hut that
Yeah.
we slept in.
Yeah, I got long rest.
Oh, and you got to finish your sleep?
Yeah, you told me that. You were well at the time. You said yes. You got your full long rest.
Oh yeah, because Varel made the rickshaw.
Right.
So yeah, okay, you should be at 0. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. So I could turn. But I'll be exhausted again. All for the team.
It is a risk. If there's more below this, going through with Nash in a depleted state might be a risk, but it's also a very effective way of taking out potentially anything that's hanging out in that courtyard very quickly.
While I will not be folded many times over, perhaps, because of the Eye of Grosjean, it pains me to admit that I have no resistance to any mind attacks that this general may make. Your Vorel is weaker than he's ever been here. Smash me, burn me, doesn't matter. But should this Lord of Madness attack my mind, I will fall. And I need all of you in peak condition. I will guard the lizards. I will keep them off you. I will destroy any physical threat that appears. But it is up to you to destroy anything beyond this realm. Which is why I offer my services in charging this keep directly and drawing the lizard's fire.
But didn't we just talk about how these particular foes, once we're past the sort of physical needs, are resistant to our magic? Something Stanley said.
They're resistant to magical attacks, not physical. Well, I
Well.
don't know on the physical.
But that's
Magic didn't seem to work particularly well on them.
well, that was my point. If Varel is saying, I'll take care of the physical, you guys take care of the magic, but if they're resistant to our magic, don't we need more? I mean, what do we need?
We do have another option. We could send Varel in, let's say, heightened a bit, able to deal a whole slew of damage as well as take some. Varel, would you be opposed to being turned into that same giant creature you fought a day or so ago?
Whoop.
No, the Tyrannosaurus.
Is such a thing possible?
Yes.
Well, I dare say that sounds quite fun. Though I fear the victory would lie with you, and it may be a dishonor to me.
Well, you would be you as a Tyrannosaurus, as a giant lizard, doing all the damage, fighting the way you fight, it would be you.
This would be a lie then.
It wouldn't be alive, Varel. It would be your strength behind it. Simply pushed forward by magic. We do that all the time.
And the guards would perceive perhaps a natural enemy attacking the keep and react slower than if they knew Varel Rasvim Kurik was here himself. I see the value in this.
We could even ride on his back.
I have offered many rides this past 24 hours, and nobody has taken them, and we left my rickshaw in the woods.
Well, perhaps here's an opportunity to atone for sins past. We can take the ride, get right in there, and even if they manage to fell you in this new form, you'll simply revert into your normal one, and they'll have to deal with Vorel Rasvim Kurik at full strength once it dissipates.
I like everything about this.
And Nash, with your magic, we could even maybe make it a little bit bigger.
This is correct.
So, head on the back of a dinosaur. A giant dinosaur. Is that the method we're going to use?
I still believe I should make this attack alone. You all are blessed by the demon, and he knows it. If he knows you are here, then there may be greater forces at work. But if you're able to sneak in under my cover, the element of surprise will be ours in the end.
What happened to Varel who wanted us to boast in? Now you want us to sneak?
I'm still boasting.
Do you think we're
We
being...
all go in together.
He thinks we're being tracked. It makes sense.
I think he's proposing that he goes in as a distraction and you guys SEAL Team 6 it.
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
So you
Do some
dispatch
splinters.
things while people are distracted, right? Like
Yes.
they're like, "Oh shit, dinosaur!" and you just hear thoop, 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 as you guys sort of take out all the distracted people.
Splinter
That's-
Cell that biz. Take long, shimmies on walls and do up attacks and pull them
And if
off.
they see you, you run away and hide for about 30 minutes.
Get in the hay.
Yep. I guess it was nothing.
Even though his buddy's on the floor next to him.
Must have been the wind.
Yeah.
We could do that. Let the rampaging dinosaur do what it does best.
By the way, for the record, that's every Ubisoft game ever made that you guys were describing. Somebody always says, "Huh, guess it was nothing." Anyway,
The one question is also, how are you getting in if not through the front door? Something to think about.
Just a casual Assassin's Creed climb of a 30-foot wall. No big deal.
Well, you might want to just also look at one another's character sheets, because sometimes people don't think of things for other characters. And throw that there. You have options.
I have stated and role played my options.
I know, but you can table talk if you want. If you like, I don't have any problems with it. If you see an opportunity that someone else can do.
Could we sneak
Suggest
in
it.
as mice?
I cannot cast it enough for it to
Oh,
be
okay.
everybody. I have
Okay.
a maximum of 2 casts of this.
Okay.
So,
It's a good idea though, that I'm sure
It
will
is.
eventually become easy.
yeah.
Okay.
Just a bunch of little mice go wandering into the keep.
I have their little weapons still on there, but they're mouse-sized.
Scott, any ideas?
Not to single anybody out or anything.
I don't know. Now you're giving me hints again about a thing I should do that I can't
All right.
think
Well, then
of.
I'll just say it. I'm not gonna let you struggle, but you have Dimension Door.
Oh shit! Yeah, this is a good time for that. Yeah, but it's only me. I thought.
I mean, you could teleport. It's you and another creature, which is the T-Rex, but you can teleport into space above the castle. Just have it drop down into the whole pile.
the
of them.
T-Rex can do that with me.
You and one creature can teleport somewhere. I think within 500 meters.
I think there's a size restriction on the size of the creature.
We should look that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that seems crazy to
But then
me.
you could use it to sneak in. I mean, you have a teleport, very strong teleport, which you could use to get up onto the ramparts. easily at
That's
the very least.
true. Could the okay? But
One
this-
willing creature of your size or smaller.
okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, so all right, the teleport idea, as great as it is, doesn't work. but you
However-
can still sneak in.
Hold on, while we're doing table talk, he can cast spells as a dragon, right?
Yes.
So wouldn't the restriction of your size or greater be just about anything if he's in dragon form?
So let's look up the.
Oh wow!
Tyrannus- No, not a loophole. It's sounds like good
No,
thinking.
I like it. If it'll work, I'll do that.
What's the other one?
Can't be.
You're young.
I
I'm a
still
young
think
black
they're
dragon.
statues.
Yeah,
Still think they're statues.
we're gonna go fight statues. It's gonna be.
We're
great.
gonna show up, everyone's transformed, the ammo's loaded, and they're just rocks. And
Yep,
they
So,
everybody
fall.
uses their best
that I-
abilities, best spells.
The idea won't work, unfortunately. He's not a powerful enough dragon yet. He's a young black dragon, and which is a large creature, and the Tyrannosaurus is huge.
Ah, okay.
So it's actually a size class bigger than the dragon. right
Black
now.
dragon.
Yeah, we know.
Get bigger,
what-
dragon.
But then
could-
we enlarge the young dragon.
Right, we enlarge or shrink the dragon one size category.
Yep, that works.
But would that'd be a concentration, and then you've got two concentrations.
No,
No, it's
Dimension Door is not a concentration spell.
Neither is
wow.
enlarging. I just have to blow.
Now, I think what Polymorph, which is what Stanley's intending, is a concentration spell, but that's his concentration slot. So,
It is concentration for me.
yeah, but neither my enlargement or my.
so it's even better. You can put a huge dragon and a huge Tyrannosaurus, teleport them in the air above everyone, and just drop them in.
We should.
We don't know what's in there. This might be overkill. There might be.
That's
seven
why I
guards
don't want to
in
help
there.
you guys, but I'm like, you guys have tons of fun shit. Like, you guys are like, how do we get in?
Well, we're
And I'm like,
nervous because two things are gonna happen. One of two.
Magic users.
One of these two things is going to happen. We're going to drop in there, and there's nobody but a bunch of stone
That's
lizard
why it's
men.
hard for me to do it, because who knows? I might just even invent like a giant Sarlacc pit and you fall into it and die
No,
permanently.
I fully believe that in the center of this keep is a hole that we will then have to dungeon into. So
And then there's the
See,
question,
that-
is the hole big enough for a dragon to get
no,
there?
I think we have to like.
Yes, you
split
were
into
told that
traps
there's
and-
stuff under the
Right.
keep. So the keep itself.
That's
is
my
not the end of
assumption too, which is why I don't want to burn a ton of stuff. I mean, as it is, Polymorph's one of 2 4th level spells I get. If we
Well,
then
here's the
start
count-
doing Dimension Door craziness, that's 2 of 2.
Yeah.
it. The counterpoint to that is you won't be able to T-Rex in a dungeon where it'll be too small.
I know.
Alright, well,
Well,
I
I'm
will-
all about the T-Rex idea.
So if you
I
want to
would-
have fun and live life on the edge, you just need to. Sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
Tabletop warning. I was told by a god that time is of the essence, and it was a dragon no less. So Varel is, putting his fingers in the sand and putting his foot back and getting ready to charge like this is
Throw a rock
it's go
at
time.
one of them not facing the entrance.
I agree. Yes. So they may be statues, so we should test that theory.
Hope is like super fixated on the statue.
I'm sorry, yeah. You're not wrong.
It's okay. It might be
my
statues.
baby. My baby of an
can't-
idea.
You can't tell. You do not know. You are definitely. It's definitely nothing that's been disproven. So what are we doing?
I like the T-Rex idea. It's just whether we ride with the T-Rex or separate.
Well,
He can only teleport 2 creatures.
Yeah, but the T-Rex can just run in. A giant T-Rex can just
Right. You
charge.
don't have to do the Dimension Door bit. It's funny to think about, but maybe you don't want to do it. I don't know.
but I can only bring. Oh, that's true. Do we even need to burn that if we're just going to run in anyway?
Yeah, no. The DM's trying to get rid of your high level spells. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't fall for the trap.
Okay, well, I will say this. I'm not trying to get rid of your high-level spells. I'm just trying to make you do cool shit, which may impact you negatively for my own jollies.
Right.
That's more accurate.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's my thought. We escalate little by little, right? So Hope really wants to throw a rock at one of the dudes not at the entrance, just to see if there's any response. And it's also not at the entrance, so it shouldn't draw attention to that place. And if there's a response, then T-Rex it.
What? So hang,
Classic escalation: a rock and then a T-Rex.
wait a second. I think I have another. Wait, you want? What do you want to do? You want to throw a rock at one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like from the bush, like just a rock appears and nails one of them?
Well, I'd sneak around to a different angle and then chuck a rock at one to see if it moves.
Okay. Okay, so because Scott again is not bringing it up, I will bring it up. Scott has invisibility now.
What?
So a way to possibly check would be to use the invisibility. Just throwing it
Yeah,
out there.
good stealth though.
Hold on a second. What are you talking about?
I see the spell Greater Invisibility.
Our freaking sorcerer.
You
What
are
did you
No, no, I know what it is. I screwed something up. I know what it is. I forgot I
Was
took
that not
that.
your
No,
April-
no, it's right.
April
I
spell?
had. It's a long story, but when we were talking about level 8, I had issues. Remember we had that weird duplicated one, I had like 2 mold earths, and there was just some weird
Okay.
stuff going on. I forgot that my resolution in the end was get a new 4th level spell, which was Greater Invisibility, and I just plumb forgot I had it. So yeah,
No, that happens.
So I
was
say to the
saying,
group,
rock invisible.
I say to the
I
yes.
check, when you level up, I check all your character sheets to see what's new. So these.
No,
I mean,
you're wrong. I'm just.
I mean,
I'm
you
just being
picked
dumb.
it. You didn't remember, and I just looked at it.
No, that's because I got screwed up. All right, so it says a creature I touch becomes invisible, not an item though. So I don't think I can do like a rock or a whatever. I could do a person.
It does.
We
It
could
is a creature.
Turn the rock into a mouse.
Why don't we have an invisible T-Rex?
Oh, then I could do invisible. I can do like invisible.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's possible. You can make a T-Rex invisible. That's
They'll
true.
just think the MMO's broken.
Yeah, that's true. I could look. I
Just
could.
see lizards getting ripped up into the air and eaten, and just
I could give greater invisibility to like Hope, and she could go check out her theory without causing a ruckus, and then come back and say, yeah, there's nothing going on there. Or maybe there's even. I mean, it only goes for a minute, and it is a concentration spell, so I have to pay attention. I can't go be dragging
it's a
it up.
big spell to just let Hope throw a rock.
I agree. It's like cantrip level interest in a thing
It's
that's
the
4th level
well,
slot.
greater invisibility. The deal with that is that you can attack and not break invisibility. That's why it's greater.
Yeah.
If you just get regular invisibility, if you want long, regular invisibility lasts longer, but you can't attack with it.
Yeah, it's still a concentration
wait.
spell though.
What's our stealth scores? What we got?
7.
I don't remember.
That's damn good.
0. I have
7 stealth. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Mine's +5 to stealth.
I have no stealth bonus. I don't want to
I'm
shock
5,
I don't want to
so-
shock anyone, but I have no stealth bonus.
So hope
Nash
is a
does it
stealth.
to himself, and the rest of us sneakerino, and we see what we can get done.
In a minute. Like supermarket dash or whatever that was.
I'm saying it's probably not the best kind of invisibility for a minute will go by pretty quick if you're looking to investigate.
I mean, it's
But
enough
you'll make
time
it from the
for
tree line. You can make it from the tree line to the wall without being spotted.
yeah, is invisibility wise, yeah. And then it may poop out by the time you get over to the wall. But then she's got to get back, or else she waits there until we launch the attack.
Have we decided what our plan is?
So Hope and I advance and figure out if they're statues or not.
Okay.
While you all, with your many spells, figure out what to do if things go wrong.
This seems like we landed on the worst plan.
But it's least expensive.
Yeah, that's the issue, is that if we burn all this stuff and we go dungeoning, we're hosed, and I'm also exhausted.
We could.
I mean, the good news is that Stanley does have the tiny hut for long rests, which, if you didn't have, there might be telepathy shenanigans, right? But the spells can't pass through it. So
Yeah.
I take some umbrage in that little fact as I was planning things. I was like, oh, I mean, I can't mess with their dreams because of tiny hut. That's too bad.
Let's run in tiny hut and then fight from inside of it.
Tiny hut takes a minute to cast.
That's you'll be invisible for that minute.
Okay,
See?
so the new planet is
Jeez.
We can go in circles all day, and I fully believe that every moment we hear the chicken lords approach, right? Like, Bo is counting this against us for the ultimate
not.
ritual.
I'm not. I'm just
We're on
trying
the
to
clock.
I'm trying to warm you guys up. We were starting
Oh
a little
my
hot
gosh.
today.
I
Okay.
love this idea of a mobile like attack base that we just plop down. It's just our little private safe space. Everybody goes out, attacks, comes back, gets healed up, goes back out, attacks.
Yeah.
That sounds like it'll work.
It's like a Blaze cheat.
Bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keeps putting the bunker down and lets everyone heal up in it. I mean, I don't have a problem with that as a weird
It's
plan.
a really weird idea, but I kind of like it.
It's a little exploity,
feels-
but I'm fine with it. Let's do it.
I feel like this is gonna lead to DM perma countering Tiny Hut in the future.
Well, we'll just fight burrowing
Sure, why
enemies,
not?
and it'll be
Look,
over.
don't worry about me. Worry about what is you think is fun and that gives you a smile, and just enjoy yourselves. We're playing a game.
All right, look at it this way. Worry about what the world could do to you later. That's Bo basically, but we're just saying it a different way.
Yeah, it's karma.
Okay.
Karma.
World
yeah.
So, did we just land on me getting greater invisibility and then running in and casting tiny? Oh wait, no. I'd have to be in position because it takes a minute to cast.
Yeah.
them.
So the way
Greater
that plan
invisibility
works
lasts
is
a
you
minute.
run in, be totally noticed, charge into the whatever's in there. Then in the combat round, you have to get casted greater invisibility. Then they've got to defend you while invisible for a full minute. So it's about 6 rounds of combat. Then
That's
you've got the
badass
hunt.
for a video game, but that would suck in D&D.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a good idea.
Now you saw the size of the force. Remember, Ubvex did appear with the lizard folk in the realm, but then when the world changed, they disappeared. So you have a general sense of what you're up against. You think
Can you remind us what that general sense is? Like body
about 36
count?
lizard
36
folk.
bodies?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It was quite a few.
Okay.
as a little tip off. So you know.
Well, Nash is down to clown, but I agree that John has a point. It's a little ridiculous. And also, if that tiny hut idea, you can never leave that hut ever in that process.
No, I just be in there as a cure wounds machine when you need help.
Yeah. Plus, it's stationary, so it doesn't like have. It's not mobile at all. It's siege tank.
So we're back to dimension dooring a T-Rex.
It's still too expensive. I want a Navy
I
SEALs this bit.
Hope's gonna try and stealth forward.
Okay,
Are
I'm
we
going
good?
with it. I'm going with it.
You know what?
Wait,
Varel's
you can't- you're
plan.
gonna
Varel's plan's a good plan because it's the least. I mean, it's the most pedestrian, but it gets us where we need to be. It doesn't involve giant dinosaurs and
going-
other shit.
I'm going with them because giant dinosaur is gonna happen
Okay.
if this goes bad.
So again, just to clarify, there's a tree line of the eyeball trees and a clearing to the keep.
Okay.
And
Well,
see
you got a
sentries
tree
up.
right here,
So-
right on the map.
Yeah, but you're not standing there on the map. I just have your pieces there for convenience.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we
we're not-
approaching-
So
Okay,
we're
alright.
theater of the mind until you get within 20 feet of the, which is
Okay.
fairly close. But there is a tree line. If the riflemen that you see noted here, these lizard folk, are not statues, you will be spotted immediately. There's no stealth roll that will prevent you
Okay.
from being spotted in an open field. It's raining and it's dark and hard to see, but the lizard folk will.
Totally.
I'm just throwing it out there
Okay.
that your character would realize that they need maybe something a little more.
Okay, and then how many
To make
feet
that.
to the keep itself?
It's about 30-foot clearing,
35.
so you're just a little bit off the map here from what's there. Add another 2 squares.
Okay, so what about dashing 30 feet and then stealth?
I mean,
So
you can.
so
be
you don't
moving.
have like it's not like stealth where you go invisible. Like
Yeah.
you can't. So you're just not stealth. There's no
Okay.
unless you have a way that you describe it to me, like you dig a hole under the ground and go into the cover, or if you have a piece of cloth that's the same color as the ground and you put it over top to try and appear like just the ground.
Just running at him.
Like
and
if
then
you have an idea of some way that it can do that, but you can't just run across the field and be stealth, sort of just like that.
Well,
T-Rex has 50 feet of movement.
there we go.
We push the T-Rex out, and then I'll go with the T-Rex. You guys only have 30 feet while everybody's looking at the T-Rex to get in and sneak and get into position. and then T-Rex and I can go storming in.
Wait, how long
Sure,
am
how
I a
many-
T-Rex?
Up to an hour.
Because
no?
I'm planning. I would go, all natural, like I'd go "Rrr" in the woods a bit and like thump 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 and like go down west here and like through the woods and then pop out on the west side of the map, drawing all the attention and be like, I don't know how I got here. I'm a wild animal, Brr. And draw their attention over. So the opening was. The T-Rex plan does not involve me charging directly in my opinion.
It's also a giant distraction and a draw, right?
Yes.
Like that's the idea.
Because it lives in this area, and so it would be natural. Otherwise, you turn me into like a rock throwing baboon, whatever's living in the zone.
Again, I know you're trying to solve the situation, and I don't mean to throw a new factor into the conversation, but so I just had a look at polymorph. It is an hour, so one of you could turn into a mouse or something small and also recon that way and get stealth rolls. If anyone also has any illusions that they can use to make some kind of cover between the tree line and the castle is another option as well. Otherwise, you can T-Rex for an hour, as long as concentration is maintained.
Can the hut ride on the back of the T-Rex?
No.
Okay, I just was wanted to stick it out there for a second. So if it's a no-go, then pull it right back in.
But if you had a moving platform, maybe a large enough magical moving platform, you could do a flying tiny hut. I think.
So could I mold Earth around the dinosaur to have a platform so that John could then plop his hut down on the platform?
Well, it's funny you mentioned Mold Earth because
He could dig
Mold
a
Earth
hole.
is another option to dig a tunnel into the castle.
Oh, I've never used it for tunnels. I guess that's true. I could do that. Except that's not so simple,
you have
though.
so used it for tunnels.
Not like
You've
this.
literally tunneled with it.
No.
But outside of combat, you made 2 rooms in the man's.
Yeah, but that's not the same. Because doing a tunnel, how do I get dirt? How am I getting dirt and stone and stuff from the? Like, imagine the further I go in, where am I sending it? Back, smacking you guys in the head as I throw it behind me, or what?
Well, it's magic, so you can make it into a particulate and have it float past you. Like if you make it's a 5 by 5 foot square. So if you make a 10-foot wide passage, then one side of that 5 by 5 is where the transportation, the conveyor of sand being expelled can go out.
Okay.
The...
So can I
Another
make sure
trick that would take too long, and the ritual would advance, and we'd fight 2 bosses instead of 1.
It's a good point, but what if a handful of that dirt made it into Stanley's mouth while he was just like nonchalantly opening his mouth?
You might be able to do that. I think I'd give him a saving throw.
All right, I'm pretty stoked for that if that ever comes up. All right, but we don't have to do this for now.
I want to remind you were a flying mouse not too long ago. Be careful whose ire you earn.
Yeah, my favorite part about Mold Earth is that Nash has it twice. I'm looking at your character, and you have this spell
No, I
2
don't
times.
now. It's gone now, isn't it? Oh no, it's still in here.
Unlike you, Nash Magard of the Solar Mines, I know what all my spells are, and I would be worried if you got me upset.
I don't mean any offense, Scott.
No,
Sometimes
something's
you-
up because I deleted this last week when we had this conversation. I deleted it.
My DM is smiling on me, Imperial.
Who's Cass Desiree?
Hold on.
Why do I have Mold Earth twice?
If only we had some way to be invisible.
I'm gonna
Great.
check
I
it.
also want to point out how daring of a foe this wall is.
Yeah.
Like, we're here, there's a mind flayer somewhere in this thing, but we
By the
don't give
way-
a crap about this guy. It's the wall.
But we all need to take a moment and look
It's-
for radios in our feed, all right?
Yeah, radios.
I gotta get rid of it. How do I do it? I deleted this last week.
By the way, did you know that one of the things you can do with Mold Earth is you can make shapes, colors, or both to appear on the dirt or stone, spelling out words, creating images, or shaping patterns?
No,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I didn't
It's
know
an
that.
amazing spell.
I just feel like Scott himself would get a lot of use out of that. Like he could write "fu" in the ground or something. Just-
See, what's weird is I'm
Schlong
looking at it right
Pointing
here.
the way that we've gone. The
There's-
trail of Schlong.
I'm looking at it right here. There's no option. It doesn't say there's 2 in my edit sheet, but when I look at the sheet, it's there.
It's not going to be in your edit sheet. It's because one of them is granted by a feat, so you'd have to edit that feat to just change it out.
What feat did I choose that did that?
Magic Initiate Sorcerer. Remember, we went over this.
Did we go over
Soul
this?
Praise made you an offer, And the feat you took was to have the spells you already.
Shut up. Hold on.
Really?
Did I really do that?
Yep.
All the power of the demon world at my
Go to
disposal.
features. Go to features and traits,
Okay,
and
hold
then
on.
go to feats.
You could
You
totally
see
say.
magic initiate sorcerer, but I'm like, you are a sorcerer. That feat's intended to take a different class and get a
What
couple of
gift do
things
you
from it.
want? I would like access to my
myself.
own spells. In fact, one of them I like so much, I'd like it again.
Wait, hold on.
Then proceeds to forget he has the spell at all.
Well, it's like Skyrim. Now you can put it in both hands, and it's twice as powerful.
Wait, so
Yeah,
both-
that's a good point. Just keep it there. That way you can double down on. That's a good idea.
hold
Kyle.
on. Show me where it is again. Where'd you say to click?
Features and traits.
Okay, not editing, but just viewing, right?
No. Just go to your normal OS character sheet.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Go to features and traits,
Hold on, it's loading.
and you'll see.
Okay, features and traits. Where the hell is it?
On the right side where you have your spells, equipment, features, and traits.
Oh shit, there it is. All right, so I'm there. Now which
Then
one?
click feats. Filter to feats. There's a filter, some filter buttons. Now you see magic initiate sorcerer. You can learn 2 cantrips of your choice from the sorcerer spell list. You learn 1 first level spell from that same list and cast it at the lowest level once per long rest.
So can I get rid of that? And pick
You
something
click
else?
manage feats. If you
Click
click
manage feats.
I'm managing
Yeah.
my feats. Okay.
Then scroll down to manage initiate sorcerer and click it, and then in the drop down you should be able to
And then
change.
pick a new spell.
All right. Here we go.
And I guess we're coming close on the break time, so Scott can do that during the break. Scott can fix his character sheet. The rest of you can discuss what exactly we're settling on as a plan of breaching Caravalon.
Yes. So let's
And,
do that.
Yeah,
We're gonna do
highly
that.
entertaining.
Hang on to your butts. We'll be back in a minute. I have to pee too, so I'm gonna try to do both at the same time. Well, not really. I'll do one and then do
No,
the
just
other.
do one at a time. One at
Yeah,
a time, Scott.
I'll do one and the
First
other,
time.
and then we'll be back in a second. Everybody stay tuned. We'll be